make sure you get me just dousing this coffee with 3 packs of sugar.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not a big coffee drinker. I literally only drink coffee with my girlfriend when she comes to see me. So this for the video today is just for show. And this gives us a place to sit down. So today we're at the gym. We're gonna do a food video. So I was gonna do a day of what I eat, but I think if you follow me on Instagram, or if you're a client of mine, or if you know me personally, pretty much I tell anyone that listens, you know how much I eat. I'm a big believer in red meat, chicken and rice, the basics. But today, we're gonna try and see how cheap we can make 5 meals. So we're gonna go for like your base proteins, simple carbs. Try and make it a whole food menu as possible, as much as possible. So no cream of rice, you know, try and stay away from all the like fast sugary stuff. No Rice Krispie squares, no Cocoa Pops. As part of my basic series, we're just gonna go through a simple whole food menu. As anyone know, if you're bodybuilding or you're looking to put on muscle, diet is key. Diet is key. Now this is probably the most important variable in your whole journey. So if you can't get this right, then you might as well resign yourself for a life of no progress. So with the current state of inflation, we'll try and make this as cheap as we can make it. My original plan was to try and get 5 meals for £10, but that's not going to be possible. Especially where I live. This is Paddington, by the way. This is my area. So there's no butchers here. If you can find like a butcher's that can supply your meat, that's obviously going to be the cheapest route. But I don't have access to that around here, so I just get all my stuff from Sainsbury's. Yeah, so it'll be interesting for if you're like a new beginner, if you're a beginner or a young guy. Obviously you're trying to bodybuild, but you want to try and make it as cost effective as possible. This might be a helpful video for you. So if you can, I was going to do a video on how I make how I structure my diet and how I sort of like do my food shop, but that's not going to be realistic for a lot of people because my food bill is ridiculous. Because of the amount of food I eat and just simply where I source my food from, it's just going to be a little bit more expensive. But this is what I would have done if I wasn't living in Paddington, if I wasn't in the position I am to afford the food I eat. This is what I would do, so I would find this helpful. So let's see how we get on. First thing we're going to do is try and find a protein source. So this is the mince that I like to buy. Sainsbury's have recently changed their suppliers. I much prefer this one. It looks a bit rank, the way they've kind of like ziplocked it. Or like vacuum sealed it, but it tastes amazing. So we'll need one of these. Then let's get some chicken. I know a lot of people don't like touching raw chicken. So if you go for these, it's already diced up for you. So if you're anything like me, I'm big on efficiency, so when I'm prepping my meals, I want to try and get it all done as quickly as possible so I can pack it and leave the house. So I think we need 2 of these. £4.20, not bad. Look at the posh eggs. This is kind of expensive. £2.80. Alright, they usually do have a cheaper option in this, but I suppose not that bad. £2.80 for 6 eggs. It's manageable. We can still make that work. Bagels for meal 1. £1.35. Perfect. So I think if you're looking to prep for the whole day, that's 500 grams. Put that in the rice cooker. That's about 1200 grams of rice. what we can actually do is put this shit back. 2.80 for 6 eggs. Too much. Because white potatoes also, I mean, although they're pretty dense and good carbs, not dense, but like they're good carb source, but they don't have a lot of you don't have a lot of calories in white potatoes, so we're gonna go for the slightly expensive option. £1.20. And what's this, like 1.25 kilos? Perfect. 2 meals. Okay, fair enough. Listen, 21st century, man. 2023. It is what it is. We're in Tesco's. So. Oh, this is not even the right fucking egg. £1.95. Free range Tesco special. I pretty much bought what I eat in a day, minus one more meal, because I have 6 meals a day. So out of this, I think we got like 5 meals. Right. As a disclaimer, if you have access to a butcher's, or if you live near an Aldi or Asda or any of these other cheaper supermarkets, you'll be able to get this a lot cheaper. This is just what I have access to, so I've probably overpaid for a lot of these things. So we've got chicken, we've got 2 meals out of this. So this pack is like 400 grams, 410 grams. So we'll try and split this in 2 meals, but we'll only use about 500 grams of it. And that's 2 meals there. We've got 5% mince. This is 500 grams. We've got 2 meals out of this. And these are like, you know, your staples. So like, I love red meat as like as a meal source for the day. I mean, I try and eat at least 2 meals out of this, me personally. And everyone that I coach, I always try and include this in their diet. It's just that it's a really dense, really like micronutrient friendly and source of protein. I mean, you've got, you know, things like creatine that you'll get from this, like good fats. It's quite a dense source of protein. So especially if you're looking to take your calories up a notch, always incorporate some red meat. If you're struggling to increase your calories, I would maybe like look at getting something slightly higher in fat percentage, so like a 10% fat mince. Carb sources, we've got your potatoes, bog standard, and your rice. It's 500 grams of rice. So this is like more than enough for, I think you can maybe get like 5 meals out of this. This is 500 grams. And obviously your eggs and bagels for meal 1. So we'll cook this up. I'm gonna try and time this so you can get an idea of how long this would take. Because the number one thing people tell me all the time is that, oh, I didn't have time to prep my meals, work, blah, blah, blah. It's not good enough. So me, I prep about 6 meals a day, and that takes me like 45 minutes. So this should take about half an hour. Takes no time at all. You can do, you know, multitask, have things going at the same time. A couple of things that will make your life a lot easier. You need a rice cooker. I've got an air fryer as well. These things are not expensive. I mean, a rice cooker you can pick up for like 20 quid. Air fryers now, I think about £40 you can pick up one of those. And it makes your life a lot easier. So when it comes to prepping and, you know, juggling work and kids and things like that. So, you know, there's no excuse for you to not get your meals in. Not prep in advance. So here we go. This all came up to, because we went to Sainsbury's and Tesco's. The bulk of it from Sainsbury's. So this was £17.30. Plus £1.95 for the eggs. What's that, Eric? Like £19 something?
Something like that.
Yeah. Is it? Yeah. Like just under 20 quid. Which, to be fair, is a bit pricey. It is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well. If you live in Paddington and you don't have butchers or you don't have cheaper versions of these supermarkets, then you're fucked like me. But if you can make this a lot easier, make this a lot cheaper. Inflation, man. Oh, fucking. It's another thing. If you want to bodybuild, you need a job. Like, there's no way of trying to make this work otherwise. Preferably 2 jobs. If your first job doesn't pay enough. Alright, so we're going to start with the rice. Put that on. I think that'll take the longest. You got your rice cooker. Very simple, just 500 grams. We'll do all of it. So maybe we'll use about 2 meals out of this. But you can put this in the fridge and it'll keep again for tomorrow, so you can make another 2 meals out of this for tomorrow. Wash your rice. By the way, there's no like, I'm not a chef. I'm not gonna try and make this palatable. Yeah, like as long as it's safe to consume, that's all I'm concerned about. I don't tend to put veg in my meals either, so obviously I'm not encouraging you to do that. I just don't have the time. But by all means, make sure you have your veg. I always wash the rice because I just don't like that white stuff that kind of builds up at the top. There's no measuring. I've done this so many times, I kind of know how much water I need. And that's about it. Put that in. Voila. So that takes about, I don't know, 15 minutes? By the time this is done, we'll be nearly finished with everything else. So, alright, so we're going to time how long this takes. So I've just put the rice on, so it's now 11:46. Let's see how long this takes us. That is nearly hot. One cal spray. I'm not one of these influencers who's gonna fucking try and make it look pretty. I'm not gonna fucking use seasonings I don't usually use. It's gonna be pretty fucking basic. So the way I cook this, approach this like a typical man. So I let it cook a little bit on the side, then I'll flip it over, break it up, put my seasoning on it, which is just salt and pepper mostly. Listen, the only way you're gonna be consistent at this is if you improve your efficiency. If you're trying to make every meal taste taste like a fucking gourmet meal, or you're trying to look for diversity in your meals every day, then you're not going to stick at it. You need to get used to eating pretty bland food and just accept the fact that you're cooking for results, not for taste. Salt, didn't measure it, it's kind of, I don't know, it's enough. Salt's important, as you know, if you want to get those pumps in the gym. Pepper. Garlic. Gordon Ramsay. Move it around. Break it up. Cover it down so it cooks faster. And then we wait. Now, as you can see, this is literally how I cook my normal meals. I'm not adding anything I don't usually use. I'm not putting veg in it because I don't usually use veg. I don't have any veg. The only veg I have is whenever my girlfriend comes around and she makes my meals. Apart from that, it's not veg, sorry.
You know when people see me with my meals in the gym and they say to me, Matt, you're so committed, man, you're so dedicated. So we're going to do about 400 grams per meal. And we're going to use this in the mince meal. So we need about 800 grams. Almost. Wash. 807. It's the off season. 7 grams is okay. Like I said, I eat pretty much these 5 meals. But then for my last meal, I'll maybe have 500 grams of yogurt, or I'll have a protein shake with some rice cakes, because at the minute I'm like slowly building my calories back up. As my calories increase, I'll maybe take out the yogurt and take out the protein shake and stick mainly to whole foods. As you can see, I don't use a lot of like your rice flakes. I used to have oats, but not anymore. Anything more than like 50 grams of oats give me the shit, so I stay away from oats. The only way you're gonna stick at this, be consistent with your meals, is if you make it simple. Ideally, you know, I'd want the sauces, I'd want things to taste different every day, adding different elements to my meals, but that's not realistic. Like, life will happen. And when it does happen, oh, 15 minutes. When it does happen, I don't want to have to be like overwhelmed. Like, I should be on automatic, and this is automatic. Like, this is like, I should do this in my sleep. That's how your meal prep should be. Alright, so we got 400 grams here. I'm just going to add another 100 grams to it. About 100 grams. Let me whack that in. Alright, so no, we're not really going to do much to this, which is pretty much the theme of this whole cooking video. A little bit of salt, and yes, I salt my stuff before cooking. A little bit of black pepper, a lot of black pepper, garlic. For this, we do get a little bit more fancy, and add some barbecue seasoning to it. Alright, there we go. Alright, then move it around. Cover that down for a little bit, let it cook through a little, and then we're going to just add some water to it. Do you remember MTV Cribs? Huh? MTV Cribs, when they used to show the video of the of what their fridge looked like. So this is what my fridge looked like. As you can see, pretty much what I eat every day: chicken, mince. I have this on my breakfast every morning, so I have some apple juice, like a cup of apple juice. This stuff here, yogurts, that's all the wife's stuff. That's also Ella Crouch, not mine. The cheese, that's her. She does like if it fits your macros, so her eating style is completely different to mine. She takes the piss out of me all the time about it. So this is my box standard, every day looks the same. And if she wasn't here, there'll probably be about 6 things in this fridge. But you know, things like the caramelized onions is hers. milk. That's hers. There she is.
You know, I can hear you.
Oh, can you?
I'm shocked.
Do you want to tell them how diverse my diet is?
Diverse?
Yeah.
You want me to lie?
Yeah.
I don't lie.
Alright, so while this is like halfway through, just add some water to it. Look at that. I suppose this is probably the most chefy thing of this whole day. The reason why I add the water because it makes it a little bit more succulent. 8 minutes for the potatoes. Rice is done. Look at that. Shit. Rice is done. Got 2 days worth of rice there. Yep. Mince is done. Where are we on time? It's been. What's that? Yeah, about 17 minutes. Me personally, I go for like 250 grams of rice. And I must say, like calorie wise, we're gonna work out what that is at the end for these meals. But obviously the amounts that you're using is gonna vary depending on how big you are. Like I'm currently around like 255 pounds. So this is like typical portions for me. Like I said, minus that 6th meal. Well, obviously, it's depending on yourself, you want to be adjusting these portions. Okay, so I have 250 grams of rice per meal, 250 grams of mince or chicken per meal, which is about 170 grams cooked. Perfect. Over a gram, but that's fine. So that's 2 meals ready to go. Let's place this out here for me. I'll measure it. Let's kind of eyeball this. So this is 250 grams of rice, 250 grams of chicken, raw weight, potatoes, I'm just gonna put the eggs on, 6 eggs. I just love eggs, man. They're such a good source of fat and protein. So dense. Just move this around, break it up, scramble it as we go. Salt and pepper, there we go. You know the deal. So this is meal 1. Like me personally with this, just to add a bit more calories. I just like to vary my carb sources in the morning. I'll have, like I said, some apple juice with this, and I'll maybe have a banana. But yeah, you can make this work. Like I said, you need to kind of work out the calories according to how much you weigh. But in terms of like preparation, I'll tell you how long this will take. This takes as we finish, but this doesn't take long at all, and it's simple and easy enough where you can do this on automatic, which is the aim of the game. Easier you make this, the more you're likely to stick to it. You don't want to wake up every day and having to prep your meals and it's seeming like a chore. Some chunky wedges. Like this is the only thing that kind of took a bit.
Time.
Yeah, took a bit of time. This took like 20 minutes. No, 25 minutes. It's 800 grams of potatoes altogether. And as you can see, we're eyeballing this. Like, great source of carbs. But it's not as dense as rice. Like the carb sources, the carb amount that you're going to get out of potatoes is not going to be the same as rice. That's why we just need a lot more of it. And that's pretty much it. Pretty simple. This all together, I just worked it out. Now with this bagel, obviously, if you want to get fancy, you can cut it, toast it, put a little bit of butter on it. It's fine. But this is all about 3,000. I'm gonna put it up on the screen so you guys can see, but it's about just over 3,000 calories. Now, I said, depending on how much you weigh, now this is ideal for someone around maybe like 90 to 95 kilos. Like you can pretty much sort of like lean bulk on this. Obviously, if you're looking to, first of all, if you're heavier, you want to try and like obviously add maybe like a 6th meal. You can make these meals a little bit more denser by adding some fats to it. Like I said, you can get 10% fat beef instead of 5. We use 5 today. Or if you want to add extra fats to it, you can put some olive oil on it. With the chicken, you can go for something like a chicken thigh. That's fat, a little bit more denser and high in calories. Or again, put some external, so like you can, if you want to put almond butter on this, that would work. Or again, some olive oil. But you can bump the calories up by just putting in some extra fats, or just like increasing the portions of your rice. Like I said, you've got an extra 500 grams of rice there to work with, so you can increase these portions to 300 grams of rice per meal. And obviously, if you weigh less, if you're just a lighter guy, just eat less. Simple. But that's done. That takes us. This whole meal took us about 40 minutes. 40 minutes, not long at all. You can do this the night before, do this in the morning before you leave for the day, pack them up, put it in your bag, go to work, you know, whatever you're doing. So, am I forgetting anything here, Eric?
Eat.
Yeah, like, obviously this is 5 meals, so space it out as you wish. I mean, you can go up to 4 hours, 5 hours, whatever it is, just make it work for you. You don't have to eat every couple of hours. Like, if you have extra snacks on top of this, depending on how much you weigh, depending on what your coach says, you can add some fruits in during the day. Obviously add veg. Like I said, I don't add veg in my meals, so I'm not gonna try and pretend that I have veg every day, just for the sake of this video. So make it work for yourself, tweak things. But the most important thing is it needs to be something that you can replicate every single day. Something that's not going to be a chore for you to make it every day. You know, this needs to be like automatic. This is the most important element of the whole process. So this needs to be the most efficient as possible. The gym will take care of itself. Supplements will take care of itself. This needs to be non-negotiable. So it needs to be easy enough where you can do it every day. And cost effective. Like obviously today we kind of took the piss. 20 quid a day is not realistic for a lot of people, so you can supplement a lot of that by going to the butchers, going to a cheaper supermarket, buying in bulk, probably cheaper. I do all my food shopping online, so I do a weekly shop from Sainsbury's to bring it to my door. I think it's a little cheaper if you buy it online, because it obviously comes from like a bigger Sainsbury's. But yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe.
Which one's mine for lunch?
Grab any.
Can I have potatoes?
Yeah, go for it. I'm not sure those potatoes are cooked through.
What kind of cooking channel is this?
Try it. I don't know.
I think it is.
Is it?
Is it really hot?
No. Take a bite. Is it cooked through?
It's a bit dry.
Yeah, perfect though. But it's cooked, right?
No, it's cooked.
Good. Eating for results, not taste.
That's the difference between us. I like this thing called flavour. Did you put any like...
Put some salt in it. But before I cooked it.
Yummy.
Listen, I ate like this for years. Yeah.
Don't about it.
I've been eating like this since fucking, I don't know, 2015.
Because you have to be hardcore to be a bodybuilder. You
You
have
know,
to be in pain all the
it
time.
it's easy to stay consistent when you eat like this.
I don't know. Hit up my Instagram and my results. Bit of flavour doesn't hurt. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Perfect.